Shelby Gerber. I am a cosmetologist. I have always enjoyed doing like hair and nails and makeup. I was 6 years old and I was doing poured nail polish into little medicine cups. And I would make designs on my mom's fingernails. When I was 7, I fired my mom from doing my hair. And just ever since then, I've always enjoyed doing it. I did hair for prom and homecoming. And then after high school, I knew I wanted to further my education, but I wanted to do cosmetology in the meantime. So I still was doing something with my life, and I still have a certification and everything. A lot more goes into it than what people think. You had to go and prove that you were a graduate, that you're over the age of 18, and you had to go to school. It was 1,200 hours. In my school, you had to pass a pre-final and then a final before you could even go and apply to take the state board. And he has a 95% graduation rate. So once you pass his pre-final and his final, you were just about guaranteed a license in cosmetology. And I went to school 5 days a week for at least 6 hours, all the while working at least one job. And at one point, I had two jobs and going to school full time. I A little bit, but I didn't actually go into debt. I worked through it. I was on a payment plan. As long as I kept my payments up, I was still allowed to be in school. And his schedule was flexible enough for me to work full time to pay for my car and to pay for school. So I actually am not in debt. People think that we're just ditzy gossipers who don't do anything all day. You have to know the chemistry of hair and you have to know what color makes what and what color cancels what out. In one of my tests, I had to know what relaxers fell on the pH scale, and I have to know what I can and can't put on your hair. If you've gotten a relaxer, you can't get a perm because your hair will fall out. It will sizzle and it'll burn out. And people think that I just talk all day, but you don't see the shapes that I'm putting and cutting to create angling around the face and everything. I work anywhere from I can work 5 hours or I can work up to 12 hours a day. This is actually my second 11-hour day today, and a lot more goes into it. You're not just cutting someone's hair. You're listening to their problems and you're making them feel better about themselves, and you're making sure that what's on the inside is reflecting on the outside. You're making someone feel better about themselves. I love that I do get to talk to people. I love that I get to listen to what they're struggling through or what they're really excited about. And when you turn someone around and they look in the mirror after you've done something completely different, and when they just look at you and they start crying, that's one of the biggest things of my job. I've gotten thank you notes from people, and for me to make them feel that way makes me feel so much more appreciative for them and so much happier about my job. It's a big part of what keeps you going after working those long hours. I don't often get a lot of respect because of my age. A lot of people think, well, you're just a 20 something and you're attached to your phone and you haven't been doing this long enough to know what you're doing. I not to sound arrogant, but I do really good work. And I've had those people say, how long have you been doing this? And I'm like, a good amount of time. And then I do the hair and they're like, oh my God. And they book their next appointment with me. You get lumped into a group of people that are generalized to be not so good. And people often don't realize that I am of that age group and that I am a millennial because I don't act in the way that we're portrayed. I would have to say definitely my mom and my dad. They always are just there when I've had a bad day, and so I can talk to them about what I could have done differently. Also, one of my coworkers, Cindy, she's been a really good inspiration to be better at my job. You can always improve as a hairstylist, and she does that and helps me to see what it is I could improve on. So it's a big motivation, especially when you have someone that you really appreciate their work and you want to impress them. It keeps you striving to do better and better for yourself. Ultimately, I'm going to be finished with college because I have gone back to college to get a small business degree, and I would like to open my own salon. I want to have that so I can say this is where I started and this is where I'm at, and I want to be that salon where everyone is really happy with everyone and it just kind of moves pretty flawlessly. I'm just really working towards that. Don't let people get you down. Don't let people talk down to you and say, "Oh, you're just going to hair school." It's so much more than that, and you have to know and stand up for yourself and say, "I'm not going just to hair school. To I'm going to hair school to learn the chemistry of your hair and how to cut it and color it and do any type of chemical service so you still have hair. You're gonna make a difference. And as long as you're passionate about it, just continue doing that. You don't know everything. You'll never know anything. You'll never know all of it. And if someone says that they know everything and they think that they can't improve, you should probably stay away from them because they're not looking to better their careers or better themselves. You have to keep a humble opinion and ego, but just go, and if it makes you happy, be happy about it and let that speak for itself.